I'm a regular guy, grew up in New York City, and just really wanted to have more information about what it would take to effectively be able to satisfy any woman that I happen to meet. In a nutshell, Mike, I put together a system that, really kind of helps any guy to understand how to effectively pleasure a woman using the body that you have. The idea of misdirection. I'm a boxer, a martial artist. Misdirection is a very big piece coming out of the African American experience. African Americans created the feint in boxing. We created the juke in football, and we created the crossover in basketball. All these concepts come out of misdirection, come out of the idea that you think I'm going to do one thing, I'm going to do something different. Applying that same concept to sexuality is very, very important, especially for women that have a mental belief that they cannot orgasm. Women's pressure points, their sensual spots are like balloons, They expand based upon the frictive energy that we apply to the walls. So if we know where it's at, great. Don't mess with it unless you know it is packed full of energy. Unless you know that you have worked that first 1 to 3 inches, 360 degrees. I mean, you work those walls in that first 360, in that first 1 to 3 inches, you work those walls so well that you know that spot where you know where it's at, you know it's probably huge. And then
basically what you're saying is you basically teasing her. You're teasing her to that spot. You're teasing her and teasing her and teasing her and teasing her, building her up, and then you go, bam, you hit that spot. That's basically what you're saying, right?
That's what I'm saying, brother. That's
okay.
That's what I'm saying.
And to clarify that a little bit, or to make it, that's a strategy. That's a particular strategy to use to be able to build yourself up, build her up, and be able to make great love making. Am I right?
100, brother. We go ahead and we see her toes curl when we swing it to the left a little bit, but we act like we don't let her know that we know where it's at. You go ahead and work the complete opposite direction of that point. The complete opposite. And you work the hell out of a section. You know what's going to happen? She's going to start getting annoyed. She's going to start being like, oh, this guy can't even find my spot. This guy is all over there, right? But she doesn't know that you understand her body and that you're working that wall over there. You're building frictive energy to that spot. So it's almost kind of like it starts to itch inside of her. It's really like a throb. She really wants, she's going to start trying to push you toward it and stuff. Don't even go. Stay right where you at. Stay right where you at.
You back on the show. You go ahead.
And you just stay there and you watch her, and when she starts to really flip out, swing it over there and hit that spot. Watch what happens. After she comes, you want to stroke on 4, and you want to sit in your stroke. And what I mean by sit in your stroke is that, don't you know how you can stroke to go forward, right? But then you can also kind of stroke almost like an uppercut.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
You want to stroke like an uppercut. Mm-hmm. You want to stroke on a 4 count when she's coming, and you can keep it going. In fact, if a woman is very, very turned on, like if there's a lot of lubrication, she can come back to back off that process. You know what I'm saying? And what you're doing is that when a woman comes, her vaginal canal contracts, and what she does is very similar to what we do when we stop peeing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the same process. And when she does that spot that you hit, she basically kind of like tugs at it. So basically what you're doing is that when you stroke on that 4 count and hit that uppercut, when she tugs at it and lets it go, you uppercut it back to her. You dig? It's just like that. It's almost kind of like one of those. What's on the boxing gym? You got those bags. Those bags. You hit it. You're talking about those. It's like that.
I've been there and done that. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I mean, I'm a big fan of that missionary, half missionary, because in those two positions, you can really master her body. You will find out what everything is. Now, why is that important? Because you turn her to the side, everything's in different places, you dig?
Absolutely.
You turn her to her stomach, everything moves. The spot's damn turned upside down. Or, oh my God, if you take it to the side, it's really difficult. The spot that might have been north is now east. The spot that might have been south is now west.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like we don't think about that. We don't really think about it because, you know, as dudes, like, and it's unfortunate, but as dudes, you know, we really kind of got this, you know, kind of gambling. We gamble with it. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, I'm going to hit something. That's like the way that we be thinking about. Like a lot of us are taught to think about it. I'm one of them, you know. But the truth is that a lot of those positions, we really want to know where all her spots are at so that when we flip her upside down, we can still work the same process. We can still, you know, hit the same spots. In fact, you can hit them even better from other positions, but you still got to know where they're at.
For me, I feel like the root chakra is that energy is some of the most powerful energy we have here on Earth, being that almost everybody comes here through the vagina. So through that sexual chemistry, everybody comes here like that way anyway. So I feel like, okay, I want to learn how to deal with this energy here because it seems to be the most potent, and I get pleasure, and I just feel like you can get that oneness when you have that connection with that right person.
Man, you dead on, bro. I think that's a perfect way to think about it, man. I really hope that a lot of the people listening to this show listen to what you said about that, because see, that type of thinking about sensuality, it's going to make you continue to get better too. There's a concept that we're playing with called stroke, right? And we broke it down into an acronym, and it stands for systematic, tactile, rhythmically organized kinetic exercise. So systematic, tactile, rhythmically organized kinetic exercise. The idea of a stroke is a way that your body moves that has an effect on a lady. And the idea is that you, instead of doing push-ups or sit-ups or basic, like, you know, floor calisthenics, you do these strokes.
A good, firm, hard stroke with a hold down with your forearm holding down will make a woman orgasm out of her mind. You laugh, I'm serious.
No, I'm serious, man.
I'm talking about. I've actually had women say, "You had me in a headlock," but I'm not talking about a physical headlock like my hand around her neck. I'm talking about my hands around her body. A physical, hard, steady stroke with a hard lock. I'm telling you, man, drive them crazy.
Love it,
drive them crazy.
The strategies are nice.
I like the passion with it, man. You was passionate about that. He's like, you know, a heavy, strong, solid story.
I'm telling you, man, if you taking it, basically you taking it. You taking this. And that's what you're doing. You taking it. And they liking it. Because they can't really move. They can't really move. You moving them, period.
So basically,
hard, strong strokes.
So basically, you're saying there's no running. She ain't wiggling her way out of that one. She ain't
not wiggling her way out of nothing. I got her. The lady says, "You got me in a headlock."
Yeah, I know what you mean. There are a lot of women that will run. That will run when you try to hit those spots. They'll run.
That's right. There ain't no running.
You know, we as guys, we have to come out of the mind state that we've been put in by adult films. That you really want to be long stroking. That shit is painful to women, you dig? She said what happens is the vagina starts gripping your joint. You know, it starts squeezing it, right? because she's enjoying it, right? Now think about it like this: if you squeeze your hand, if you take one hand and you squeeze your other hand, right, and then you pull the hand that you're squeezing all the way out, one hand's gonna have a fist, and right, and then imagine trying to ram it back into the fist. But then when it's still tight and squeezed, you ram it back in, and it's really painful for them. And it also it depletes their lubrication as well. And after a while, the chocho will dry up, and you'll be like, "What the fuck? You ain't turned on no more?" We get mad about that shit. I know I used to get mad when women, vaginas kind of got dry or whatever. But what I found out, it was because of the way I was stroking. I was pulling all the liquid out. You long stroke it,
Oh man, this is the Real Man Talk Show. This is the Real Man Talk Show, and we keeping it real.
Real Man Talk Show. Real Man Talk Show, that's that shit I like. Real Man Talk Show, listen up, that shit tight. It's Red Rose, Young Lord on the mic. Check it out, this that shit that nigga like. Mike Ramone, man, this so tight. Sir Pope, man, that's so nice. Them niggas talking sports, that shit is for life. Them niggas thinking outside the box. Mouthpiece, knock a nigga out his socks. Real Man Talk Show got me living life. Here we go, and I got it. You get it right.
Since I got it, that means you gon' get it right. Real Man Talk Show.